The lab is about the construction and analysis of the op-amp-based integrator and differentiator. The purpose of this lab is to familiarize you about the integration and differentiation, and it show you that it can be made using the op-amp circuit. As you saw in previous lab that the op-amp can be used for the multi-purpose. It can be used as a part of positive and negative feedback amplifier, as an adder, as a subtractor, as a filter, or a comparator, as a voltage regulator, using just pure resistance in both the input and the feedback path. In all previous circuit, we are using pure resistive circuit element in the feedback path. But if we change the resistive circuit in the feedback to a capacitive circuit or inductive circuit, then what will happen? Because these two components are the frequency dependent, and by changing the frequency, their reactance will be changed. So what is the effect on the op-amp output over frequency if we use the capacitor or the inductor in the feedback path? By introducing this electrical reactance into the feedback loop of op-amp circuit, we can use the we can cause the output to respond to change in the output voltage over time, and hence the output will vary gradually with respect to the time. And this operation is basically used in the integrator and the differentiator, that their output are changing with respect to the time. So what is the an integrator circuit? Integrator circuit basically using an op-amp, we make a circuit that perform the mathematical operation of the integration, that is changed with respect to the time. We cause the output to respond to change in the input voltage over the time. Here the circuit diagram of the ideal integrator shown in the figure. You can see that the feedback capacitor is used. This feedback capacitor will force the output voltage to change with the change in the frequency. When we can also say that the magnitude of the output voltage is determined by the time duration. If voltage is present at its input as a current through the feedback path loop, charge or discharge the capacitor as required. Negative feedback occur through capacitor. This is the circuit diagram of the ideal integrator circuit. The ideal integrator circuit will work by changing the by changing the frequency of the input signal. You know that if capacitor is connected in the feedback path, so at the low frequency the capacitor will open. So for the low frequency, this op-amp circuit is have very high open loop gain, which can create problem of the oscillation at the low frequency. To avoid this, the ideal integrated circuit is improved, and a feedback resistor is connected parallel to the capacitor. The circuit diagram of the improved practical integrated circuit are shown in the figure. As I told earlier that the resistors is connected in parallel with the capacitor in the feedback, which provide the gain at the low frequency and short in the high frequency. As the frequency of the input signal will increase, the capacitor start working and it will short the resistor R2 at the high frequency, and then it will start the integration as shown in the circuit diagram. Now I will briefly told you about the operation of the integration at low frequency. You know that the capacitor act as a capacitor will be open circuit, because at DC the capacitor act as an open circuit, block any feedback voltage, resulting in a very little negative feedback operation or output back to the input. So at this point, just the R1 and R2 resistor will present and will act as just an inverting amplifier, which will provide some gain, and the amount of the gain will be minus R2 by R1. And at high frequency, when the capacitor will short, then the effect of the R2 will be neglected, and it will act as a pure integrated circuit. In the first lab task about the integrated circuit, I have to show the behavior of this integrated circuit. For this purpose, I just connected the circuit on the breadboard as it was shown in the manual. It was an ideal integrator in which only the two components are used, that are the capacitor and the resistors. This capacitor performing the integration of the circuit along with this resistance. In ideal integrated circuit, if I do not connect any resistors, then the gain of the amplifier is much higher than with feedback resistors. Now I have to show whether it is acting as an integrated circuit or not. I just applied the various input signal at the this input resistors, and the outputs taken at the pin number 6 and of the op amp. You can see that I have applied I am applying the various type of the input waveform through function generator at the frequency of 1 kilohertz. I just taken the frequency at the moderate level so that the capacitor will work as an integrator. When I apply and square wave, the it will give you a triangle wave, and this is the property of the integrator. Okay, when you will apply the square wave to the integrator, then it will give you a triangle wave. It will give you a triangle waveform. When I will change the input waveform from the square wave to triangle waveform, it will give you a cosine waveform, and if we applied a sine wave, it will give you cosine wave. And this is the properties of the integrator circuit. The one thing that you have to note, that the difference between the ideal and practical integrator is that with the in the differentiator circuits, the position of the capacitor and resistor had been reversed. As if you remember, then in the integrator circuit, the capacitor was connected in the feedback path. Now here the feedback path is a pure resistive element, while the capacitor is connected at the input terminal. This circuit will perform the mathematical operation of the differentiation, that is to produce an output voltage which is directly proportional to the input voltage rate of change with respect to the time. Now I will explain you how it will work. As you know that with the integrated circuit we have resistors and a capacitor performing the RC network across the open circuit. The reactant XC of the capacitor play a major role in the performance of this op-amp circuit. This is the circuit diagram of the pure ideal differentiator circuit, and the circuit diagram for a practical differentiator circuit are shown in the figure. Here you can see that a capacitor is connected in the feedback path. This capacitor is used to remove the noise in the output circuit, and the sine capacitor which is connected to the which is connected to the input resistance and input voltage. In ideal differentiator circuit, if we see at low frequency, the reactance of the capacitor is high, resulting in a low gain which is given by RF by XC, and a low output voltage from the op-amp. At high frequency, the reactance of the capacitor is much lower, resulting in a high voltage gain and higher output voltage from the different amplifier circuit. So at high frequency, the op-amp based differentiator circuit become unstable and will start to oscillate. To avoid this oscillations, the high frequency gain of the circuit need to be reduced by adding an additional small value capacitor across the feedback resistors, and which is the CF. As I told you earlier, this feedback resistor is used to remove the noise and to control the oscillation at the high frequency. Just to implement the differentiator circuit, I just assembled the circuit on the breadboard. You can see that I am just using on op-amp 741 and the feedback resistor RF which is 1.2k, and the capacitor which is 10 nanofarad. Here I am connected the resistor in the feedback path, and the input is at the capacitor, which shows that it is acting as a differentiator, while in the integrator the input is at resistors and the feedback capacitor is used. And you know that the operation of the differentiator, when you will apply any input to the its capacitor, it will differentiate with respect to the time. If you will apply a square wave, it will give you spikes, and if you apply a triangle wave, then the output will be rectangular, and if you will apply a sine wave, then the output will be a cosine wave. Now I will prove here. I have just applied these different sine wave different waves using the function generator. Here are the three options: sine waves, triangle, and the square wave. If I apply a sine wave, you can see that the output is a cosine wave. If I apply a triangular wave, here the output is a square wave. Here is some spikes, some spikes or the noise in the output, which can be reduced by connecting a capacitor in the feedback path. If I apply a triangular wave, then the output is a spikes which show the properties of a differentiator. So if you want to improve the this noise in the signal present, then you have to connect a capacitor, which is I already mentioned in the theory part, that CF capacitor here from pin number 6 to pin number 2, which will improve its noise that is added to the this output.